Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Um, I'm welcoming you to the Magic Feather Tour, and everybody now has their magic feather. And later on, I will explain why it's the Magic Feather Tour. 10 years ago, I kept asking the question, how can we play matches the way we practice? I watch you guys in practice, and it's fantastic. You're hitting great shots. You're getting ready. Everything looks great. But then, when we go to play, we're not doing it the same way. So the question is, if we can do it in practice, we must have the physical skills. So we obviously can do it. So then it begs us to ask the question, well, what's stopping us? We can do it in practice. We have the physical ability. And so we came up with a lot of answers. One of the biggest answer was I'm nervous. I get nervous when I start my match. I get nervous when I'm serving for the match. I get nervous when they get ahead. The other thing is you have self-doubt, lack of confidence. I can't hit this shot. Oh, don't miss. I'm afraid to try that. Not the confidence, not the self-doubt. And the third one is now what I am seeing to be the number one problem we have. The I'm sorry. And why the I'm sorry is the biggest problem because your thought is not in playing tennis, it's not screwing up with your partner or making something bad happen for your partner or not hitting the opposition. So all of these things are not physical, so they have to be in your head. So the conclusion we came to is that, well, you don't play matches because you're insane. And we know that because definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get a different result. And we talked about this. But the other reason we say it's insanity is because one of the definitions of schizophrenia is hearing voices. And that's where we're addressing the problem. We hear the voice, you don't have a second serve. We hear the voice, don't miss. We hear, don't let your partner down. We hear all these voices, and they are stopping us. But one of the voices say there's a saber-toothed tiger coming at you, and you're going to die. Because that's why you're nervous. And we talked about that. Nerves is a physical reaction to fear, and your body is getting you ready for the flight or fight response. You're either going to run from the tiger, or you're going to fight the tiger, and actually there's a third one that really affects you a lot more than people see, and that's the freeze. You're going to stay and embrace yourself for the onslaught. But in your nervousness, your heartbeat starts, your stomach feels queasy, you are short of breath, you have clammy hands, all things getting you ready to fight. But you're fighting because your brain said you're going to die, and you have these responses. And then some say you're no good. You can't play. Why are you doing this? And then that gets into the self-doubt. You don't have that forehand down the line. And then that just eats into the whole confidence thing. You see it all the time. Oh, I missed a backhand. Oh, I can't hit a backhand. My backhand's terrible. Oh, I can't serve. I can't play. Blah, blah, blah. And again, where's the problem? In your head. And the big one is, don't miss, I'll let my partner down. Yeah, yeah, all right. So our thoughts are in a position not to help us play better tennis, but take our mind away from that. And then, so we started talking about, well, these voices. Now again, voices are not bad, because you hear a lot of people say, oh, I hear your voice saying that, and that's not bad. But there are some detrimental voices that are going on that we need to really pay attention to. And the voices of our ego. And again, the name ego that we're going to talk about, it's not in the Sigmund Freud, where you talk about the id, the superego, and the ego. We're talking about the ego as your metaphysics talk about, Deepak Chopra. It's that voice of the collective consciousness that has come through our life and is trying to obtain as much pleasure as possible and avoidance of pain. And that's what the ego wants. I mean, your ego is out there to get as much pleasure and avoid the pain. And everything that's going in there. So why are they saying you suck, you can't hit this, is because it doesn't want you to fail. It wants to be right all the time. The ego has to be right all the time. So if it's afraid you're going to miss the shot, it's not right. It's failing. You see, so don't hit it. Don't go out and try it. It likes what's going on. Because everything, if it's going on right now, there's no problems. Everything's right. I like this. It's good. Nothing new or unexpected. It lives in the past and it lives in the future. And then it needs to avoid the unknown. So it's familiarity is a big thing with the ego. Obviously, fear of loss and blame is good because it puts it off on someone else. You know, she missed her shot. It wasn't me. And that's why we get into that. I'm going to play this alley. And that way I'm not going to miss. It's going to go to her. So the conclusion is to play the way we practice, you have to play without ego. And the other way of saying, play without thought. You want to play in the flow, where everything's just happening, where there's no thought, there's no ego thought. A lot of people talk about playing out of their mind, which is how you want to play. You want to play out of your mind, where the ego is not involved. You're out of your mind. Things are just happening. How many know what this means? Yeah, there you go, right there. People who played a while.
The 80s.
80s. Okay, this was well known. Tree means that a person is playing way above their level. So much, they're playing so high, out of their level, they are playing in the trees. So that was back in the 80s, treeing. No, he's never played that good in his life. So that is treeing. But it all comes down to playing in the zone. And the zone is without the conscious thought. And again, how do you play without thought? Well, your brain is always active. If you have no thought, you are dead. Okay? Your brain is moving. We're just going to look at the right thoughts. We're going to try to stop your ego and let you play your game. And we've, again, I've been trying to work on this for 10 years. And I've given you good advice, and I've done my research, and the number one thing that every sports psychology book professor, they all talk about goals, set goals. And that's a good thing to get the ego out, because it breaks it down into small, achievable steps. And again, you do something, I'm working on that forehand slice, you keep doing, oh, that's pretty good. Now I feel pretty good about that. Then I try to do it in a match, and then I know that works. And then, so it breaks down everything into small, achievable steps, which your ego will get used to, and it makes it familiar with the ego. Oh, okay, yeah, you got that shot. And so when you go to hit the ball, that slice to the middle, you're familiar with it. You worked on it. So your goal, you've set your goal to do that, and you've done it. And then we talked about the ego likes to project in the future. Well, if you have these goals, okay, I want to be a 4-0 player. I like that. Okay. So you set out and you give ways to do that. And again, so everything we're doing is trying to get the ego out. 100% of all Olympic athletes set goals. 99% of all CEO of major corporations set goals. So setting goals is the answer, right? No, it isn't. So that's the hard part. They're good ideas, but they're not the full answer, because how many New Year's resolutions work? What's that? You see? So it's more than just setting a goal. Goals are important, but what happens is that if you're not achieving your goals, then the ego gets involved and goes, well, you suck. You can't do this. You see? Well, you might as well quit because you failed at that. If you're not doing it the way the ego wants it, it stops you. So goals, it's a nice thing, but it's not the answer. You need them, but it's not the answer. And then the second thing we talked about is meditation. Meditation is a great answer. The nice thing about this, it does slow down the fight and fight response. So when you get danger, you get fear, the more you meditate, the slower the response. You have more time to realize there's not a saber-toothed tiger ready to eat you. The biggest thing about meditation is that it practices what they call mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of hearing the ego's voice and not reacting to it. So when you meditate, you're trying to relax your mind, and then all these things come and start you hearing in your mind. And you start realizing, well, that's not really the true self. And in that, you learn how not to react to it. And this allows you to recognize the ego's voices are not yours. That voice that keeps saying, you suck, you're a terrible human being, why don't you just give up? You never do anything right. It's not you. It's your ego. But the problem is that it has been with you all your life, and you just have accepted it. You've never gone, wait a minute, I'm not that bad. I'm pretty good. I do a lot of good things. But again, it's just this ego going over and over. And we'll talk about how it develops also in tennis, why it's a problem. And again, in meditation, it teaches you not to react to it. So you hear that voice saying you really are bad, and you go, no, not really. And all those study shows that meditation does improve the quality of life. And I've talked about meditation and how many people meditate daily. Not very many. No, they don't. Why? Well, the answer is the last thing your ego wants you to do is shut it down. So you will find lots and lots of things to do besides meditate, because your ego does not want you to shut it down. In an episode of South Park, they were showing it again, it's about ads and how you'll be searching for something and all of a sudden an ad will pop up, and then you get rid of that and another one will pop up, and that's kind of like your ego. You'll be doing something, you'll start, I'm going to meditate, and then all of a sudden the ego will go, you know, you need to clean that closet out. You know, the ego's smart. It's not going to say, don't meditate. It's going, oh, you need to clean that closet out. You know, find some things to keep you occupied. Anything to but shut it down. So it's not easy. So meditation is important, and we'll show you how we can get around that. The other thing we talk about is visualization. Visualization is the best way to learn new shots, new patterns, everything. The biggest study I've seen so far is that you can increase muscle mass through visualization. Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about that. Practicing visualization makes things familiar with your ego, like it likes familiarity. If you project yourself seeing things, you'll get used to it. And for me, it's a really good replacement tool in mindfulness, meaning I'll be driving, some guy will pull out. My reaction is, right? Bad reaction. Mindfulness goes, wait a minute, it's not a big deal, it's not going to affect your life. I can now hear the ego's voice saying that. Oh yeah, that's right. 2 seconds later, if I don't replace it, my ego's going to go, that son of a, I can't believe, it comes up like that. And so, it gives you, especially in tennis, so I miss my shot, I don't get mad, I start to get mad, I don't get mad, and then and then 2 seconds later, if you don't replace it with seeing yourself hitting it right, you're going to, you stupid, how'd you miss that shot? You're the worst player in the world. These thoughts will just come running up. So visualization is a great way to interject the right thing and the right thought very quickly. And we've talked about these things, but and people have done it and it's helped, but it has not. I've not got the reaction what I want. I mean, I think we should be doing a better job with it, and so I'm always looking for something, the next thing. What is the next thing? That's my alumni. That's where I went to school. We had a female tennis coach who was brilliant, Dr. Mary Jo Wynn. And she was so ahead of her time. She was fantastic, taught me so much. She was so good when back then you didn't have men and women's athletic directors. The man was just in charge of everything, women's athletics, men's. And so they got to the point where they're starting making women in charge of their own athletic. And so they made Mary Jo the women's athletic director, which is a huge thing because tennis was not the biggest sport there. I mean, basketball was huge. But that's how really impressive this woman was. Back then, she brought a hypnotist to the team and hypnotized the team. And the ex-wife was on the tennis team. And she went through it and said it made a huge difference for her. Even later, 20 years later, she would still talk about, wow, that was a big experience. So always in the back of my mind, hey, I'm going to look into it. And so I started looking into hypnosis and found out, yeah, it's a really good tool to use to help people. But again, I kept looking at things, and yeah, what good is hypnosis, just by itself? And found this. I found rapid transformational therapy. And what's so important about rapid transformational therapy is that it's the magic feather. Now, if you don't remember your childhood stories. In the story of Dumbo, Dumbo is the elephant with big ears that everybody made fun of, and this mouse came to him and said, you know what? With those big ears and this magic feather, you can fly. And the mouse gave him a magic feather, and guess what? It flew. One day, the Dumbo lost its feather and panicked. I can't fly without my magic feather. And the mouse said, there is no magic feather. You've always had it. And that's like your tennis game. You've always had it, but RTT is the magic feather. It's going to bring it out in you. But RTT is more than hypnosis. RTT, a lot of times with the tennis players, I talk about, I'm going to hypnotize you, and they really get a little apprehensive about it. Because most of the thoughts of hypnosis is your carnival acts where you're making them walk like a chicken and all that. And in my learning in my school, in my classes, we have to go on and practice with each other. And what I found is that when I do a meditation, it's when I get into the gap, it's just like when I'm being hypnotized. There's no difference between how I feel when I'm in the gap meditating as when I am hypnotized. It's just heavily meditated. But the one thing that really makes RTT different than anything else, it looks at how the mind works, and then it addresses that problem. And Marissa Peer, she's the founder of RTT, and she has all these rules of the mind that really apply to your tennis game. And she says your mind responds to the pictures you construct and the words you tell yourself. And what we do at RTT is that we do heavily meditate you or hypnotize you. But what's important is the script, or the things that we're going to tell you while you're heavily meditated. And what we do, we focus on doing the right things, positive words, really vivid images of the right way. And with these rules of the mind, your mind doesn't care what you tell it, good, bad. It reacts on it, no matter what. So if you go to hit a forehand and your mind says, you don't have this shot, what you're hearing in your brain is that, oh, he doesn't want to hit this shot because he just said that he didn't have this shot. So your mind is going to do everything it can to make sure you don't hit the shot. So in RTT, we really work on the words we say and the pictures that we give our mind. And then the question is, what are you telling your mind? And this is the biggest thing. If nothing else, get out of this. Listen to the word you're saying. What are you saying? Go up and say, don't double fault. What's going to happen? You're going to double fault. And the reason is your mind only hears double fault. It's like saying, don't think of a pink snowman. What do you think of pink snowman? Right away. So you have to really pay attention to what you say. And it has changed how I teach. I have eliminated telling a person what they do wrong and always say what to do right. Everything has to be positive. You have to tell them what to do, not what not to do. And so with this, every thought you have forms a blueprint. So you keep saying, oh, my backhand is bad. Well, guess what? You're forming a bad backhand because you keep saying it over and over. And you're telling your mind you do not want to hit a good backhand. And again, your mind will do what it thinks you want to do and truly believe it's in your best interest. And this is a really interesting story that I have. I was doing 30 hours, 35 hours of lessons at SCORE inside. and this was in the spring, and I was getting ready to go out and do my outdoor job at Crest Creek, and that's 10 hours a day. And back in my mind, I was thinking, I need to take some time off, and so I can rest and get ready for it. So going along, and one day I have stomach pain and I'm throwing up, and it's just awful. I think I have the stomach flu, but it persists for more than 24 hours. And after that we thought, well, this is pretty bad. So we go to the ER, and it turns out I had a twisted intestine. And I'd never had stomach problems in my life. And now all of a sudden, there's a blockage and I can't take any food. And listening to Marissa talk and all of her examples, I truly believe that I'm saying this over and over, I need some time off. So my mind hears that and says, hey, I'm going to help him take 6 weeks off. We're going to the hospital, and he's going to have surgery, and that way he's going to take a good 6 weeks off. Because I had both my knees replaced, and I had 6 weeks off, and it was fabulous. So you really have to watch what you tell your mind. And from now on, I always say, boy, I am in great shape. I am ready. I am rested. I really watch what I say to myself. And again, your mind is always listening. Every word you say, it's going to make it happen. So you have to watch out what you say. And in the script, we're going to talk about what the things you're supposed to do. So, what is doubt? And this one happens a lot in tennis, is that, again, I say, as you go to hit a forehand, you go, oh, I don't know if I got that. You are telling you don't have that shot. You go to hit a serve, we're talking about hitting targets in our serves, and you go, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Again, so you're telling yourself you can't do that, and your body's going to do everything to make sure you can't do that. And the better the words, the better the images, the more vivid, the more the brain really latches onto it. And in the script, you'll see, you'll get these vivid, descriptive words that really helps your game. And what we do, we're not, we just take these words and we replace, recode, regenerate with positive words. It takes all those negative words that your egos has been telling you all these years, and we replace them with positive words and pictures. Now, the one thing is that when I get you into this nice, heavily meditated state, this hypnosis, I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. If I could, I wouldn't be here. I would be in the Cayman Islands with lots of money. I would make somebody give me millions and millions of dollars, but I didn't, because I can't do that. You're in charge. I mean, I do a lot of the programs from Marissa, and I'm fully aware of what's going on and can come out anytime I want. You're in charge. As I do this, the hardest part of these lectures are getting the people to come out of it. Once I get them heavily meditated, they do not want to come out. It's like, whoa, this is great. It is so relaxing. So you're actually going to really enjoy it. All right. So now what we're going to do, I am going to heavily meditate you. And so I'm going to get everything set up here. And so we'll take just 1 minute. What I want you to do is to look up like you're looking into your eyebrows, or you can pick a spot on the ceiling. And as you do that, I want you to take a nice, long, deep breath. That's it. And as you are blinking, that's actually the hypnosis coming upon you. So everybody is responding perfectly. And let's do that again. Take another long, deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. And one more time. Nice, long, deep breath. And now you're going to keep your eyeballs looking up, but as you exhale, you're going to slowly close your eyelids. And exhale and slowly close your eyelids down. That's it, keeping your eyes up. Beautiful. Your eyelids are going down, and now the muscles and the nerves around your eyes, they're becoming heavy and droopy and drowsy. Your eyelids are starting to feel as if they've been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. You find the harder you try to open your eyes, the more they feel glued shut, sealed shut, locked together. So just forget all about your eyes and allow a drifting, floating feeling to develop in your body. Now relax your shoulders and drop your chin so you can get a looking down sensation, like you're looking over a balcony or down a flight of 10 stairs. And you're going to see those 10 stairs. I will count from 10 to 1. And you're going to see, hear, and feel your feet moving down each step. Right now, you're moving on to step 10, as each muscle, every nerve, turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9, and you can see your feet landing on each step as you go deeper. You're taking step 8. You can hear your feet making contact, and with every step, you go deeper and deeper. You're taking step 7. You can feel your feet moving each step, and each muscle, every muscle turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 6, and every sound and noise and movement carries you further and further, way, way deeper into hypnosis. You're taking step 5. You're halfway down as you gently, calmly, easily drift deeper. You're taking step 4. As you move down, drift down, travel down to an even deeper state. You're taking step 3. Going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 2. And now you're in a wonderful, floating, relaxed sensation. You're taking step 1 as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time I click my fingers, you go further deeper. You go 10 times deeper, 20 times deeper, 50 times deeper into a most wonderful state that you really enjoy it. And you know that it's not about being asleep. It's about being responsive to what I say. You have an amazing, fantastic, brilliant brain that will respond to the words I say and the pictures I give it. From now on, you will give positive messages, words, and pictures, and it will change your tennis game and your life. As you get ready to play a match, I want you to see your team walking onto the court to play. Like you're walking into the court and see yourself from above, or even on TV. You see how confident you look, ready to play your match, because you have prepared, practiced, and drills. You feel the nerves come onto your stomach, but now you will start to enjoy that feeling. You will start to like it. You will start to look forward to these feelings, because that is your trigger for getting you ready to play at your highest level. This feeling is your beginning, the start, that is getting your body, mind ready to play in the zone. This feeling is excitement, anticipation. It's your body getting you ready to play amazing, fantastic, awesome tennis. That's adrenaline. Getting you ready to play your best, the most amazing game you've ever played. You love this feeling. You love the excitement. These are feelings that are going to help you play better. It's getting your body prepared to move faster, see the ball sooner, react quicker, recover faster. Your brain has produced adrenaline, endorphins, all to prepare you to be stronger, play with more intensity and greater endurance. You are physically ready to play at your best, your highest level. When you start to get this feeling in your stomach, you know your mind is getting your body to play in the zone. Your mind knows what is happening, and you like this feeling. You like the surge. You like the excitement. You like that your body is on your side, getting you physically and mentally ready to play in the zone. You are able to handle the surge of power, and you transfer it to smooth, silky, flowing strokes, graceful moving, continuous play. You take this energy and it helps you to always be ready, always moving, always getting ready, seeing the ball early, knowing what shot to hit. This surge makes you be able to play the best you have ever played. This is the feeling that triggers you into moving into the zone. As you start the warm-up with your partner, you and your partner are on the same wavelength, thought, movement. You are in the zone together. You move as a synchronized duo, always responding correctly with each other's movement, covering the gaps, getting back to the right spot, taking the right balls. You will have nonverbal commands and communications like a school of fish, like a flock of flying geese. These nonverbal commands, you will sense each other's movements and shots. When your partner has hit an offensive shot, you are ready to move into the right position and capitalize on their great shot. And after you've hit your great shot, your team is already moving together to be ready, one step ahead of the opponents. You repeat this over and over and over. You can see in your mind, like you're watching the Bryan brothers, flowing, moving, attached as one unit. You are an incredible tandem duo. And you are playing as one team, one mind. And you make it impossible for the opposition to find any openings. You know that the team has to work so hard to win a point. And when they've hit a good shot, you are there to cover and make a great save. You are scrappy. You get balls back that they can't believe. You steal points. There's not a ball you don't think you can get and make back. You are one unit attached to one inseparable mind. And since you are one unit, one body, one team, you are free to play your game because you know your partner is there backing you, physically and mentally. You both are on the same wavelength, mindset, frequency. You know all the patterns. You know your roles, your shots, your movements. When the ball is hit deep cross court, you are ready at the net to be aggressive to the middle, ready to pounce on any ball that comes near. You know all the patterns, and your brilliant mind can see your shots instantly. You are fearless at the net. Your movement at the net helps your partner because your opponents are worried about you at the net. You are an amazing, fantastic team. You move as one. You are brave, proactive, courageous, because you know your partner supports you and you support them. You are working hard. You know they work hard with you. They will always support you. You are fearless because you know you have their back and they have yours. When you're in the zone, you do not recognize the players on the other side. They are faceless things, nondescript entities. They mean nothing to you. They just send the ball to your side of the court You have no feelings towards them, no reactions to them. You do not care about them. You are indifferent to them. They are not your friends, family, teammates. They only send the ball to you. You only see cones. You only see targets. You only see openings. It's like they do not even exist. It's just like in drill, only cones come to your mind. If they act in an inappropriate way, make bad lines calls, or try to upset your rhythm, it doesn't affect you. You're in the zone. There are no worries, no reactions, no bearing on your play. There are no emotions in the zone. You only see the ball coming. You see the ball, your target immediately flashes up to your brilliant mind. And then your amazing, fantastic body completes the perfect shot, just like in drill. There is no judgment of the shot or your game. You are moving perfectly, anticipating where the next shot will come. You are already there, knowing what to do. If things start to slide away, you're calm, confident, in the zone. Your brilliant mind interprets the situation and comes up with the right response, plays, patterns to pull it back. You fight harder, play better, faster, as you pull your team out of the slide and back on top. Tennis is a game of errors, and you know that you might lose a point, but you're still going to win the match. You will come up on top. You have the right patterns. Your brilliant mind sees targets, shots, positions. You've worked hard and practiced and memorized all your shots and your patterns, and they just fly off your racket. When you get a lead, have a break point, serving for the set or the match, or you have just won the first set, your amazing body shifts into a higher gear. You know the opposition is coming to get you, to take your prize away, to tear you apart. You react by being smarter, more proactive, one step ahead. Everybody else goes into a freeze mode, but you get faster, smarter. You know better, your patterns are better, you play better shots, you fight harder, you get to every shot, you hit all your targets. You are getting ready faster because you know they are on the attack. They are trying to claw them back into the match, but you won't let them. You are like a mother bear protecting their cubs. Nothing is going to get to you. You are ready for their attacks. You counter with better shots, better movement. If you're behind in a match, you shift into a higher gear. You work harder, focus more. Your level rises. Patterns become clearer. You're now on the attack. You're the one who takes it and takes it to a higher level. When you understand that the words you say and the pictures you make influence your game and your life, and now when you play a match, you will hear these words I say, and you will play in the zone. Rise to the occasion. Play your best under pressure. You have trained your brain so well it can handle every situation, moment, problem. You have all the answers. Your brilliant brain knows what to do and how to do it. You will listen to this recording every day. You will look forward to listening to it because it gets you ready to play in the zone and play your best tennis. And now I want you to take a nice, long, deep breath. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and you're going to slowly come out. 3, nice deep breath. 2, let it out. And 1, you can slowly open your eyes.